If your net worth is between $100,000 and $300,000, this is the phase where most people quietly lose momentum, and they don't even realize it. You did everything right. You paid off your credit cards, built the emergency fund, started maxing your 401k, invested in index funds. You crossed 6 figures, and for about 10 minutes, it felt amazing. Then Monday came. You still had to go to work, your boss still annoyed you, your mortgage still felt heavy, and somehow you still don't feel rich. If that's you, you're not behind. You're in what I call the 100K to 300K dead zone. We've been sold this idea that $100,000 is a magical number, 6 figures, made it territory. But $100,000 invested at a 7% return, roughly the long-term average of the market, generates about $7,000 per year. That's about $583 per month. That's not freedom. That's groceries. So when your life doesn't dramatically change at 100K, it's not because you failed. It's because 100K is a milestone, not an escape hatch. Now, let's say you're at $150,000 invested. At 7%, that's about $10,500 per year. Maybe you're adding $20,000 per year from your job. In a strong year, your net worth grows around $30,000. Sounds solid. But here's the psychological problem. You don't feel percentage growth. You feel lifestyle change. And $30,000 on paper doesn't change your Tuesday morning. Between 100K and 300K, your portfolio is too big to explode from savings, but too small for compounding to feel powerful. You're pushing a heavy flywheel. It's moving, just not fast enough to feel exciting. And this is where it gets dangerous. Most people hit this phase in their 30s or early 40s. Income rises, but lifestyle rises with it. Bigger home, higher insurance, kids, car payments. You're not reckless, you're just upgrading. But here's the math nobody explains clearly. Every extra $1,000 per month in lifestyle requires roughly $300,000 more invested capital to sustain long-term, using the 4% rule. So if your expenses rise $12,000 per year, you just moved your financial independence number up by about $300,000 without realizing it. You're moving the goalpost while trying to reach it. There's another layer. At 10K net worth, you feel proud. At 50K, disciplined. At 100K, accomplished. But at $187,000, nobody celebrates that. It's not a headline number, so excitement fades. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. The same reason a new car feels normal after 6 months is the reason 100K starts to feel average after a year. Instead of excitement, you feel impatience. And impatience in this phase is expensive. This is when people try to time the market, chase speculative trades, take on unnecessary leverage, or look for shortcuts, all because steady growth feels boring. But boring is exactly what builds wealth. At $25,000 invested, a 10% drop is $2,500. At $250,000, that same 10% drop is $25,000. Same percentage, very different emotion. Now, growth feels slow and losses feel massive. That combination makes people panic or freeze or quit. And quitting is what extends the dead zone. But here's the shift. Around $300,000 invested, something changes. At 7%, that's about $21,000 per year. Now, compounding feels visible. And once your investments generate more than you personally contribute each year, momentum flips. Your money starts working harder than you do. But you only get there if you survive this middle stretch. So what do you actually do? Increase your savings rate slightly, not dramatically. If you're at 15%, push to 18% or 20%. Redirect raises into investments before upgrading your lifestyle. Automate it. Measure progress in 3-year windows, not monthly fluctuations. Protect consistency above everything. Stay invested, stay boring. The people who push through $300,000 almost always reach $500,000. And at $500,000, 7% is $35,000 per year. Now, momentum feels real. If you're somewhere between 100K and 300K and it feels slow, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're in the phase that separates dreamers from finishers. The dead zone isn't where wealth dies, it's where discipline is tested. Push through it, because one day you'll look back at this stretch and realize this wasn't the stall, this was the launch pad. If this resonated with where you are financially, subscribe and tell me in the comments your current range, closer to 100K, 200K, or pushing towards 300K. I read every comment. I'll see you in the next one.